hit for 6 or 8 hours. The idea is once this is in the oven, you can't have any of the steam escaping. It's got to stay in that foil, and that's what cooks these ribs and makes them fall off the bone tender. So this goes into your 325-degree oven. You set a timer for 2 hours and 15 minutes. It will be perfect. And then when it comes out, you set it down. You just open one little edge, and you let all that steam come out and let it sit half an hour. Then they're done. You wrap them up, you put them in the fridge, and they're ready for the next day for the grill. So you want to put them on so the bones are down, because the bones conduct heat. You're going to do 75% of the cooking with these bones facing down with no sauce. That's going to get those ribs nice and hot. You're not going to start burning up, so you want to make sure your grill is hot, about 500 degrees. You put them lights out, because if you put them this way, when these start getting hot, and then you grab the middle of the fat they'll break right in two. These will probably sit here about 4 or 5 minutes, and then when that end of that bone starts sizzling, you know that bone's hot, which means it's about ready to turn over. You got that nice browning on that bone side, that means the bones are hot, and now we're going to cook the meat side. I'm going to do the same with this one. Just roll them over. This kind of char on the edge of the bones is absolutely what you want to be seeing right now. And now is the time to put on our first layer of barbecue sauce. I know you're excited to use it, so now we get to use it. And I put this recipe on Longhorn's website, so you can go there and check it out. It's a bourbon barbecue sauce. Load that brush up and start bringing it down. Probably about 2 or 3 scoops. Hit the bones on the side, and basically you're going to paint the back of those ribs. Now again, this is going to be just a couple more minutes, and then we'll be ready to roll it back, and that's where we put sauce on the other side too. Grab the bones and just roll them back over. And look at that. You've got that great looking grill mark on that side. Those look super. I'm going to do this one too. Now you're ready to bark and barbecue this side, and I call it bark. And what that is a built-up caramelized barbecue sauce, which sometimes you can do in layers. And that's when people eat ribs and they get those sticky fingers because they have that sauce on their fingers and they're just licking them and everything. That is the best baby back ribs you're ever going to serve. Probably another couple minutes, we're ready to serve ribs. These are done because you've got the definite sizzle going on. You can even see the top of the ribs here bubbling a little bit, so you know they're hot. You can even pick them up, and you can feel how nice and loose those are. So that means they're going to be nice and tender and ready to go. I think this is a killer recipe. It's easy to do, and I really want you to get out there and try it. Hey, I'm Chef Kurt coming to you once again from the Longhorn Test Kitchen with a recipe that's really going to wake up your taste buds, coffee rubbed ribeye. You know, coffee's not just for breakfast. It makes an excellent rub for grilled steaks too, especially ribeyes. You won't believe the incredible flavor that a coffee rub brings to a tasty ribeye. And finish, we're going to top that steak with a savory caramelized shallot butter. Now, coffee rubs are generally blends to start with finely ground espresso coffee. Then they're mixed with ingredients to balance those flavors like chili powder, brown sugar, salt, pepper, and other spices. So for this recipe, I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup of finely ground espresso and a 1/4 cup of chili powder. Next, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of paprika and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Next, you're going to get a tablespoon each of dry mustard, kosher salt, black pepper, coriander, and oregano. Just take a whisk and mix all those together really well. And then your coffee rub is all ready to use on the grill. So next, let's prepare the caramelized shallot butter, which will be a perfect complement to our coffee rub ribeye. We're going to start with softened, unsalted butter, a full stick, and then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of caramelized shallots. You can need about 3 big shallots, dice them fine, and then slowly brown them in about 2 tablespoons of butter. That'll take about 25 minutes. And this is what you're going to end up with. So we're going to add that right to our butter. So we're going to put a teaspoon of kosher salt, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And you want to take a spatula and we're going to mix it all together until it's well blended. So what you're going to do is cover this and put it in the fridge till you're ready to put it on your steak. Now let's get the steaks ready to grill. I recommend choice grade 1-inch thick ribeyes. If you're not sure how to choose a great steak, check out our Selecting a Great Steak video under the video tab here on our Facebook page. Okay, so first you got to season the ribeye with a little bit of salt and pepper. And after that, you're going to use a tablespoon of your coffee rub on each side of this ribeye. So you're going to get a pretty heavy coating. Rub that in nice and even. It looks great. Then you flip your steak over, salt and pepper it on the other side, and hit it again with a tablespoon of the coffee rub. And smooth it in. Now this steak's ready to go to the grill. Okay, since we're grilling steaks, you know you want your grill on high heat. And since ribeyes have the most marbling, you got to watch for those flare-ups. If that happens, just move the steak a little bit. If you get a lot of flare-ups, you can spray it with a little water. You see I got a couple plain ribeyes going, and here's our coffee rub ribeye that we just seasoned. Now this rub is going to get very dark on the steak, but that's okay, don't worry. Just keep grilling to your favorite degree of doneness. This coffee rub ribeye looks great. It's a perfect medium rare, it's dark, but it's not too dark, so it's ready to get off the grill and take it to the table. Okay, now you got your steak on your plate. Now you're ready to go back to the caramelized shallot butter. You want to take a nice heaping scoop of that, put it right on the steak, and the heat from that steak is going to start it melting right away. It's really going to complement that steak very well. And then for a final touch, just take a little fresh chopped parsley and sprinkle it over the steak. Now this ribeye is ready to serve with your favorite side, like a baked potato or these grilled vegetables. So until next time, fire it up and grill the Longhorn way.
There's something wrong with this part of the clip, Ed. Something just didn't get recorded correctly. It's all in slow-mo, as you can hear from the sound. But it looks good. And then this area right here, this should contain specials on drinks or things like that, maybe ads for different drink manufacturers.
Baby back ribs with bourbon barbecue
Or
sauce.
maybe even this zone can have the information about the different advertisers and the few that we can put in there.
Pan, and you've got your ribs in there, bones down.
Alright, so that's pretty much the loop
well on both sides.
for the time being.
Big 4, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, or a barbecue seasoning, whatever kind of seasoning you like. Just
Have a
make
great
sure you get
day.
a lot on both sides. And it goes in the pan, and you put about 2 cups of water.